now you can all just have a seat, is what I would have said if any of my audience actually gave me a standing ovation. That's okay. And to think I warmed up all their seats for them. It's true, before you guys got here, I sat on each and every chair and I lightly farted on them. Now, if you guys haven't been to or heard of Junket Jam Live before, don't worry, no one else has either, okay? But this is public access television. There's a very good possibility you will not see me at next year's Emmys. Hosting a show on public access is like having a college degree from Trump University. Everyone you know feels incredibly sorry for you. Every time I tell someone I host a public access show, they immediately offer me an air mattress to sleep on in their house. Now, though I personally think that my show is Netflix worthy, it doesn't help that the show right after this one is about an elderly woman who spent an entire hour trying to open a can of cat food. It's true, it's very entertaining. And she doesn't even own any cats, nor a can opener. But she does have a life alert. I know that because in last week's episode, she fell down a flight of stairs. Those stairs. Now, the ambulance never came to get her, but at least she died doing what she loved. Skateboarding. Now, I'm actually very grateful for this opportunity and to have the support from my very loving, very adoring husband, who's here. Hey, husband. Hello. Yes. Thank you, husband. And to think, after all these years, he has grown tired of me being at home alone, performing jokes for no one. But finally, we've made it to public access, where I could perform jokes for no one. My husband is amazing, though. He's also a performer, an actor, and dancer as well. So as you all know, we don't make any money on that side of the family either. Actually, we recently went back to school and graduated college together. Because as you know, a family that studies together builds debt together. And to be honest, I graduated high school in 1999, which means it took me 19 years to obtain an associate's degree. That's as remarkable as becoming president with a discrepancy of 3 million votes. But I did graduate with honors, so obviously I went to community college. The most challenging thing about community college is finding a clean bathroom where you could do a number 2 in peace. Even still, I honestly couldn't have obtained a degree without my husband's help. I remember when we first got engaged, I got him a nice, shiny ring from Tiffany's. And to my friend Tiffany, if you're watching, yes, I'm the one who took it. Marriage, though, is a lot of work. It's not something you just rush into. Just ask my husband, he's still having second thoughts. We actually just celebrated our 4th anniversary in Puerto Rico. Yay. Now, if you guys haven't yet donated to the recovery efforts, I urge you to please just forget about it, all right? That was 11 months ago. You're as useless as the paper towels the White House donated. But my husband and I are very close. Sometimes we don't even go to sleep. We just stay up all night watching each other, knowing that the first person to fall asleep is the first person to lose that argument. Sometimes there's even yelling. I'm sorry, there's supposed to be a joke there somewhere. But it's hard to write one down when you're being yelled at. I mean, how can my husband reasonably expect me to continue to remember day after day that he has a peanut allergy? Oh, you like that one? He helped me write that joke just before he fell into a coma. Now, as a gay man, I have to say, sometimes I feel deeply ashamed that I have no idea what LGBTQIA means, right? Because if you're straight, you're lucky. You have one label, breeder. But we've got many labels to remember. There's twinks, dykes, queens, drags, femmes, butches, who's its, what's its, bears, otters, tops, bottoms, verses, purses, lipsticks, pigs, and daddies. And what do you straight folk have? Missionary. That's it. That's all you got. I can say this though, as a gay man, we do have lots in common, especially with our beautiful straight female friends. For one, we all love men, which makes us all incredibly stupid. The difference though is that because I'm a man who loves another man, I'm labeled a sinner. I did seriously try at one point to pray the gay away. But you know, Mariah Carey would just not stop making club remixes to all her songs. People justify casting us as sinners because of this biblical story about Sodom and Gomorrah. But I've looked into it, and I can assure you, I don't have either of those STDs. Now, have you guys gotten your HIV tests? Yeah? Negative?
Yeah.
Negative? Love it. A room full of show-offs over here. Now, another label given to us gay men is sodomite, which is a little presumptuous, right? Because, frankly, sodomite not want to have anal sex right now, right? He's tired. Just wait till tomorrow. Thank you. The point is, it's impossible for me and my husband to be sinners, right? Because we no longer have premarital sex. We now have postmarital sex at least 2 times a week. Unless we're on vacation, then we don't have to worry about what mom hears in the next room. We're honest. Don't judge us. Now, though we are married, my husband and I still practice safe sex, which is why we have sex in a safe. We know a branch manager over at Chase. Now, if it's okay with you all, I actually would like to talk a little bit about AIDS real quickly, because as a gay man, I feel like it's my duty to help spread AIDS. Awareness. Now, I know many people aren't comfortable talking about AIDS, right? But I feel like there are a lot of other things that are far more uncomfortable than AIDS, right? Like condoms. But I will just say this, just to put everyone's mind at ease, it's impossible to get AIDS from a mosquito. But if in fact you still want to have sex with one, just know you'll crush it. Okay? Now, Magic Johnson said it best. Just because you're straight doesn't mean you can't get AIDS. But if you have AIDS, there's a good chance you might have gay children. Now, I have it here somewhere. I wasn't wearing it here, but I do have an AIDS ribbon. Now, I know we all seen it before, but my AIDS ribbon here is not only representative of awareness, but awareness that is created through a fashion statement, right? Because we wear it on our clothes. Now, today's show is all about fashion, and as you can tell by my homeless gay man look in the future, I know nothing about fashion, and clearly, neither do any of my audience members. But our special guest today, fashion designer Renita Biddle, promises to help us all out. Hang around. Welcome back to Junket Jam Live, everyone. Thank you. Oh, you guys are amazing. I am your host, Christopher Albert, or as my grandmother would call me, Cristobal Alberto Rodriguez de la Torre de la Roa Stupido. It is said that fashion designers are creative, insightful, narcissistic psychopaths who will stop at nothing to find a celebrity thin enough to wear one of their garments to an awards ceremony. Today, we delve into the troubled lives of a fashion designer and his design assistant in this mini documentary interview entitled The Tragic Life of a Fashion Designer. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Rogelio. In case you were wondering, my parents, they named me after my last name. I absolutely love fashion. I live for fashion. I am fashion. At least, that's what my Social Security card says. If you would have told me when I was a little boy that one day I'd be living my dreams, I'd be frightened. I mean, I don't know who you are. How do you know my dreams? When I was younger, I used to play dress up all the time. I would wear stockings as neckties and bras as belts. And I also wore purses as hats. And that was just from my father's closet. He was a real fashionista. My mother, on the other hand, she was more of a simple gal. She wore muumuus and sandals and bonnets. Playing dress up in her closet was more like helping a friend move out of their house, you know? When they're not looking, you just throw all their shit in the garbage.
Rogelio? Who's that? Oh, him. Oh, I don't mess with him like that. Well, the truth is, I call him by many names, especially when he asks me to make him a cup of coffee. But Rogelio is not one of them. If you ask me, there's something really strange and off about him. I mean, look at this piece that he made. What the hell is this? I feel like I should be going to a Beyonce concert, but somehow I ended up at Solange's. I've seen better clothing on the zombies of The Walking Dead.
Life is just so depressing. Growing up, I had no siblings. It was just me. So, you know, I'd sit and talk and play with myself all day long. Until, of course, it was Daddy's turn to play with me. Daddy was just terrible at hide and seek. I could always see his big, hard wig from behind the couch. He used a lot of hairspray. Oh, I miss my father a whole lot. He always knew the right words to say to help make me feel better. He'd say to me, Rogelio, cheer up, buddy, and come help Daddy zip up into his dress. I barely had any friends, you know. And the ones I did have died from drug overdoses. Typical third graders.
That guy desperately needs someone to talk to, but I'm not the one. I'm only here because I have bills to pay. And this hair weave that you see here, honey, it don't come cheap. But this thing does. I mean, what is this thing supposed to be? I mean, can you believe that people buy this? You see all those women out there on Fifth Avenue wearing Virgilio's garbage? Their dolls look better than they do. There is one group of people who would never wear Virgilio's clothing. Circus clowns.
Fashion was just always my escape. I started making dresses for Barbie at first, but Dad was disappointed. He said my dresses looked much better on Ken. Then I started designing dresses for my cat named Sasha. I would put them on her every day. That was until my mother shot Sasha dead in her face. Apparently, my dresses made Sasha look like the chupacabra. But, you know, that's all blood under the bridge now.
You know he cray, right? I don't bother saying hello to him anymore. He has a picture of his dead cat in a dress in his wallet. I've seen cuter animals in a rabies commercial.
You know, not many people know this, but I do also design costumes for film. Even though the dresses I made for Julia Roberts never made the final cut in Pretty Woman, they did eventually make the big screen. You might have seen some of my dresses in The Bride of Chucky. I would have to say my top favorite fashion icons would be Cher, Mariah Carey, Dolly Parton, oh, Dick Cheney, for sure.
Can I go home now? Because I have a grown man at home that I need to breastfeed. And he really needs mama's milk.
You know what I really need? A nice little, lovely cup of coffee. Cleo. Cleo. Cleo!
Bye, motherfuckers.
She's just so great, isn't she? The hell is this?
Thank you guys so very much. That was very fun. Didn't Renita do an awesome job in that? Yes. She's amazing. I will hang out because she's going to join us next. I sit down with fashion designer Renita Biddle for a fun little chat about automotive preventive maintenance. Or maybe we could just talk about fashion. We'll see. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss that. This is Junket Jam Live. Thank you guys. Welcome back to Junket Jam Live, everyone. Now, for those of you at home, if you are still watching, most likely your dog has gotten a hold of your remote. Now, today's special guest has shown a promising interest in fashion ever since the tender age of 5, when she started hand sewing wedding garments for her 13 Barbie dolls. Not only does she have the heart and creativity of a designer, but she also has the acumen of a writer. Both skills she is equally passionate about. With a BA in speech communication and an AAS, that's AAS, not ASS, in fashion design, she is proudly a spirited fashion blogger who loves to share her abstract, artistic, and exceptional concepts for style and clothing. Her women's wear is self-described as fashion with a rock and roll soul. Please help me welcome the very lovely, very talented entrepreneur, fashion blogger, and designer of Cherubim R&B, Miss Renita Biddle. Hello, Renita. Oh yeah, she can come around, whatever. How are you? Yes. Look at you. I'm gonna cut that off. Sorry for the loud music. How are you?
I love this. I need that type of intro every day.
Well, that's why you buy a headphones, Renita, and then you
Yes.
just walk around and, well, not like aimlessly. I feel like everyone has those little, what are they called? The earbuds? What are they called? The AirPods. Excuse me? AirPods. Oh, AirPods. Apparently our audience is more wealthier than we are. So, Renita, you are a fashion designer, but let's talk about your upbringing.
Okay.
So now you were born in Norfolk, Virginia.
Yes, it's Norfolk, Virginia.
You studied in Maryland,
Yes.
right? And then, but so now what eventually brought you here to the Big Apple?
Fashion, of course.
Fashion, of
Fashion,
course.
fashion.
So, but now, okay, so let's talk about fashion, because now you are the youngest of 8 children.
Yeah, my parents are getting busy.
They were.
Yeah, so yes, I'm the youngest of 8 kids.
So would you say then fashion was your way of standing out amongst the clan?
In time, I found that it made me stand out, but I think that, I picked up that trait from my grandmother. My grandmother was a fashionista.
Yeah.
And, my mother was very artistic, although she didn't really celebrate her gifts, so it's just something I kind of subconsciously picked up.
So, but now, obviously your mother, your father, your family have watched you, obviously it's the age of 5,
Yes.
making dresses.
Yes.
Was that something that was always supported in your household?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you remember the Crayola Caddy, when it used to have like
Yes.
all of my parents, like, because they saw that like I had like an interest in art and that type of thing, they went out, they bought caddies, they brought Play-Doh, all these things to just keep me entertained for hours.
Yes. So you would make like little dolls out of the Play-Doh
I
and
would.
then dress them up in Play-Doh
I made a whole
clothes?
city before of Play-Doh
wow.
people, park benches, everything, no joke. Until my brother, who was like a very bad kid, came home one day and just mushed it all together in one big ball.
Well, you do know you could have just built a city with Lego, right, Renita?
Yeah, yeah.
So now, Cherubim, R&B.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, R&B, obviously we have the R and the B, Renita Biddle.
Yes.
So what does the M stand for?
M is for my middle name.
Just it. Renita, middle name Biddle. Is that something you are being...
No. M is
Purposely
for
you-
Michelle. That's my middle
Oh,
name.
Michelle.
Yes,
Well, that's a
Renita
lovely
Michelle
name.
Biddle.
Okay, so now Cherubim R&B you started out in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
You say that it began out of the premise that fashion is a conduit of expression.
Absolutely.
What the hell does that mean, Renita?
It's kind of like electricity, like how like the socket into the, well, what do you call it? The cable into the socket. It's a
Yeah.
conduit, right? And that's how I look at fashion. Fashion, is a conduit for something internal.
Right. It's
You know?
obviously a form of expression.
It is. It's a perfect outlet. I think for it's art. It's art to me. So
And it's the
like the
first thing you
perfect
see.
outlet.
Obviously, I look at you, I can see that you're feeling great and beautiful
Oh,
on the
yes.
inside.
I mean, fashion has always been like my accessory.
Right.
Fashion is it for
Just
me.
as a whole.
As a whole, yes.
So now you have described Cherubim as being unconventional, spontaneous, and unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
What type of women so far do you find has so far responded to your clothing?
That's an interesting question.
Aren't they all?
I find that women who tend not to be mainstream like my pieces.
Right.
So she's not necessarily your woman who's going to go to Nordstrom's or
Right.
You know, she's not
H&M,
necessarily, or Barney's, or
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
right. She's not. You know, she's more so she's gonna like seek out certain pieces to create her own look.
Right. Right.
And so that's the beauty of like, you know, custom made type designs.
Right.
You know.
So let's talk about that, because obviously fashion isn't always fun. Sometimes it's practical. How can everyday women, particularly those who are obviously have constraints on fashion, especially where they work, how can they find the courage maybe to be a little spontaneous, and how can they find that in your design?
It's so funny because my sister, you know, who obviously does not wear my designs, you know, there are times that she's looking at my
I
things
ain't wearing that.
right, you know, because she's just not that girl, but she can appreciate it. You know,
Yes.
but I think a lot of women, it's okay to just like maybe play around with the color, like maybe not jump too out there, but just like maybe just add like a touch of something at times. And I think it helps to broaden your horizon in terms of fashion. Because a lot of women are afraid of trying something new because they think that it's not going to look good.
Why should a woman actively then break free from those conventions? What does it do for her? What are the benefits of saying, you know what, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to shop on Etsy and I'm going to wear cherubim, and this piece, like maybe this piece you're wearing, look at this top you have on. Like what would be the benefits for her to try this out?
I think that, you know, I believe that every individual in life, not just women, owes it to themselves to really tap into their individuality. Because once you tap into your individuality, you contribute something to the world.
Yes.
There are no two people alike, and so the minute you tap into that, it's power in that.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
So this is the why. Now let's talk about the how, right? So because now you have, you know, people who shop at H&M and Zara's. Obviously, some of your clients at Barney's. Excuse me, Renita. But now let's turn this around, right? Now how do you then maybe convince the everyday Jane to buy your piece?
Believe it or not, like I have gotten like my biggest following just from people seeing me wear the clothing.
Yes.
And there have been times where they're like, they just want to see me wear it, you know, because they're like, you can wear it, you know. But
so that's my question then, right? So they say, obviously that's an excuse. Oh, only you could get away with that. How do you convince them that that's not true?
Well, I think, you know, at times I've had to kind of like tailor a few of my design features to convince them more. You know, like, whereas I might do something in fuchsia,
Yes.
you know, to make it like, I think a little more palpable for them, I might do that same piece in like wine.
You design one-of-a-kind pieces, right?
Yes.
You can tailor it to a specific woman's
Absolutely.
need, to a specific woman's bust.
Yes.
And hips and whatever, and color. Obviously, she has her own taste, and obviously you help bring that out of them. They have their own personalities.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the challenges. What are some of the challenges that you're not mass-produced?
Oh, wow. Well, I have had some clients where I have literally gone on for like months trying to master what their vision is. And so that's one of the challenges when you do custom made pieces, is that you will end up spending a lot of time with clients because they feel like now they have that right to say, you know what, I'm sorry, you spent hours on this, but not feeling
not
it.
working.
Do you mind going back now and maybe doing this?
Then obviously part of your brand is, no matter what it takes, we're gonna get it right.
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no. Well, some people you just can't satisfy, right? Have you ever had to kick somebody out? Nope, forget it. We're not doing this anymore.
Oh, you want to answer?
Yes. I'll take that as a yes. No names. No names. Your sister. Okay, so now I've looked at your clothing online. A lot of them, you know, you've got 5-star reviews. Do you yourself have maybe sold a personal favorite piece?
Oh, all the time. There are times where, you know, I haven't wanted to part with a piece. Like, you know, that's the idea. You want to sell it, right? And you want people to, because that's the joy as a designer. Like, that's what's, that part brings you life. When you see someone else wear your piece and they're slaying it. But then you do become attached to your stuff. But I think that's an artistic thing. I think artists get attached to their stuff. And then when it's time to, like, let it go, it's like you kind of have a hard time.
Yes. Obviously, in writing and a lot of what we do, there is that phrase, you know, you have to learn how to kill your babies and being able to let go of it, right? So, but now you do some amazing work other than fashion. One of your social causes that you're very passionate about is advocating and serving those infected and presumably affected by HIV and AIDS. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, wow. I definitely have a soft spot I think for, people who have been affected by HIV and AIDS, mainly because if I could be very transparent with you, it came out of a phobia that I had about HIV and AIDS. And I had such a phobia about HIV and the stigma
Right.
of actually having the disease that I literally started to manifest it. And I know that sounds bizarre,
No, I
but
get
that's
that.
how deep my phobia was. But it was in that
Your phobia was so deep that you would walk around, oh my God, I have HIV.
Yes, I would return to my doctor so many times until he was just like, at some point, I'll never forget, there was one day I went to the doctor and he says, he literally just took his pad and he was just like, I don't know what else to do.
Here's a prescription.
And I wanted to
Just go
say
sleep.
to him, tell me that I have AIDS. Just tell me.
Yes.
And then he was like, I don't know what else to do. Until finally he gave me some sleeping pills.
Yes, exactly. Just take this and call me
Yeah, he
never.
gave me some sleeping pills.
Now, how do you take that energy and give back?
Oh, wow. That's what I mean. It's very interesting that my phobia, it actually revealed that was my passion, right? And so that phobia revealed that I have a passion for people and wanting them to be well, and so a lot of that, and so a lot of times, like just in visiting people,
Yeah.
in various places like Rivington House and John Mapplethorpe Center, those
Right.
places, you're able to connect. And I think that was the problem before, that there was such a stigma because
Right.
people weren't able to relate. But I think that when it hits home, I think when it hits home, and for me meant my phobia. When it hits home, you're able to relate with people and understand that it's a human condition.
Right. It was real. It was so real for you. But
Yes.
then, now was this part of your healing process, reaching out to others?
It was.
You are, a spiritual, sinless woman, Renita, and very sure.
Yes, very devout.
Now, not God-fearing, but God-loving, right?
Yes.
Now, you're also a part of a prayer group
Yes.
that prays for all people
Yes.
of all kinds of issues,
Yes.
not just HIV.
Yes. Just the release of the words of prayer, a lot of times, that in itself has the ability to lift people's spirit, right?
And there's
now.
power in numbers,
Oh,
right? So if you have
absolutely.
200 people, everyone praying
Yes.
for a certain cause at the same time.
Yes, and that's the beauty of prayer. Prayer is really supposed to be a healing community.
Right. Right. Well, thank you, Renita. I hope one day somebody in your church pulls up a card. We're going to pray for Christopher Albert today. That'll be amazing. I could use a few hundred. Now, it's important to get a celebrity endorsement.
Oh my God.
So I went ahead and asked some of my celebrity friends to try on some of your clothing. Right? Now, this is a crisscross top with a sexy, deep V-neck dress. So, I made a call. We got a few connections, and we got the blue avatar girl to try it on. She looks lovely. So now here you have a bleached, distressed denim top.
Yes.
Is that 17 on? Is that what that
It's,
says?
yes, the number 17 is just random.
So now we got a really good friend of mine to try it on, and it's Ellen. I think that's the sexiest Ellen has ever looked.
Truly, that actually looks very good on her.
She looks great. Okay. So now this is a punk rock corset. Mm-hmm. I actually like this piece. Very cute.
You do? Thank you.
Yeah. And we got Cardi B to try it on. Doesn't she look great in it?
I think I like Cardi in that.
Yeah, we had to expand it out a little bit more. This was 3 days after she gave birth. She was very happy to wear it. She looks good.
She looks good.
Yeah, look at that. She kind of looks like Gayle King in this
She
photo, right?
does.
Gayle King, Cardi B. How do you do it? Oh, grr. Okay. So now, this last piece I really enjoyed. Now, this is a leather sheath fringe crop top, right? And we're just talking about that piece right there. So now, this particular person who wore it is not a friend of mine. But when I told them that they were going to be selected to be in the Miss USA pageant, they just had to try on your piece. And I think he looks great in it. Very sexy. Very sexy. Doesn't do it as,
That
as
is the
much
best I've
justice.
seen him look.
That is the best Melania has seen him look. So Renita Biddle,
goodness,
first of all, I want to
that's
thank you so
hilarious.
much for sharing your
Thank you
time
so much.
and your insight with us. So now, anyone looking, to shop for your clothing, they
Yes.
can find you on Etsy
They can.
at cherubimrb .etsy.com.
Yes.
Instagram, cherubimrb. Obviously, that's for Renita Biddle. And Facebook, Cherubim.
That's right.
All right.
That's
Well,
it.
thank you so very
Aw,
much,
thank you so
Renita.
much, Christopher.
All right. Now, up next, Renita here shares with us some enchanting pieces she has designed. And we're very excited to showcase them for you right here on Junket Jam Live. Stay tuned. Thank you, Renita. Welcome back to Junket Jam Live. My guest today is a fashion designer whose clothing and women's wear can be described as free-spirited, unconventional, and chic. They may even be called avant-garde, but what they will never be is dull. Please help me welcome back Miss Renita Biddle. Hello, Renita. I'm so excited. We're going to show some of your clothing.
Yes.
Right? So these are pieces you make just like.
Yep. These are pieces that I make, for those red carpet type
For the red
functions.
carpet.
Yes.
So this first piece, tell us a little bit about it. We have model Josephine Cho.
Yes.
So Josephine, why don't you come out here? Wow, look at this. Yes, flip the hair, flip the hair. Now, what is the inspiration behind this? I love the black, it's gold. I'm assuming it's supposed to make someone feel a little richer.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like all of my pieces have like an element of sexy to them, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like I think that's what I want to give like all women, like that taste of sexiness, but still classiness and just being a fashionista. So this is kind of like that look all balled into one. But the inspiration behind this look was actually from, it's like, I remember one of the characters from the Batman cartoons, like Two-Face.
Yes.
So just putting these two different elements together, and that's the look that I came up with.
And how do you feel in this, Josephine? Can you model with the mic over
bad
here?
girl at the same time. I feel the bad girl, and at the same time, I feel the red carpet.
Yeah.
Collabing right now.
Oh, well, you look great. Thank you so very much, Josephine. Thank you. So now next up we have Maria Burgos, right? And here she comes. Wow. There's no missing you, Maria. So what's the inspiration behind this? Obviously, it's spring or summer.
Yes. Well, you know what? Believe it or not, it's kind of a dare good way with a flower. It's literally a flower.
Yeah. Nice little flower dress. Yeah, you can obviously wear this to prom
Oh, absolutely.
or to church. Now, Maria, how does this outfit make you feel in particular? You can hold the mic, sweetheart.
I feel like I'm going to the Met Gala.
Oh, yes, all right. Obviously, without me, thank you for not taking me with you.
Well, honey, wearing this.
Yes, it looks lovely. I can see that in there. I love like all the detail here. Is this
Oh yeah,
lace?
this piece. Well, no, it's actually an embroidery. It's like something that you would probably usually use for like upholstery type thing.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I did it because it gave me the body that I needed. So these ruffles, literally, they can fold into place, and they take on the shape however you want them to take
I
on.
like that. I like that. Well, thank you so very much, Maria. You look lovely. Thank you. And then this last piece is Roseanne Cherry.
Yes.
So we have Roseanne coming out. Wow, look at that. Take your time, sweetheart. We have all day for you. So now explain. Now is this leather?
This is faux leather. It actually stretches, which is the great thing about this piece, and it just gives you that fluid feel that you need.
Yes.
You know.
All right, I like that. And you've got, obviously, so this is cutouts, right?
Yes.
And
It's laser cut, actually.
Laser cut. Is that something you have to send out for?
Well, no. It's just a matter of like the way how the fabric is designed.
Yes.
It's literally cut out by laser, literally.
And Roseanne, first of all, how does this piece in particular make you feel?
Sexy and comfortable at the same time.
Sexy and comfortable,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Where would you think you would wear this to?
Oh, definitely a special occasion,
Yeah.
you know, where I want to steal the show.
What occasion would that be? Not my show, yeah.
No, it wouldn't be. Maybe.
Maybe. I think you are kind of stealing it a little bit. She's not invited back anymore after that.
Thanks for having me.
Well, it looks great. Like you can wear that at a birthday.
Oh,
Your
yeah,
birthday.
my birthday.
Well, if you wear it to someone
Yeah.
else's birthday,
I don't know.
they're definitely
Then
gonna
it's
be
my
pissed.
party. Yeah.
A little pissed there. This looks lovely. Well, thank you. Well, we're gonna close it out. Thank you so very much. Now, can we find these pieces on Etsy or are these sold?
Well, no, actually, these are some of the custom pieces just by way of getting in touch with me on either on Etsy or either by way of Instagram. Just by getting in touch with me, I can meet with a client and we come up with these creations.
All right, well, let's show off again while these girls walk out some of these fabulous pieces. Thank you. Let's give it up for the girls. Looking lovely. Maria. Really like that one too, Josephine. She's wearing that dress.
Yeah.
So now before we close, what about this piece you're wearing?
Oh, well, this is actually one of my own pieces as well.
Yes.
And it
Oh,
was
that's-
inspired
Yeah, you can hold on to that.
again
All
with
right.
the whole flower idea and the
I
ruffles.
like that. Go ahead and give it a little twirl. All right, well, this is Renita Biddle, and this is your. Why don't you get a little walk? Get a walk. Come back. Come over here, Renita. Thank you so very much, Renita Biddle. This is Cherubim R&B. This is Junkie Jim Live. Stay tuned. More fun is on the way. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys, for hanging out. Hi, welcome back to Junket Jam Live. I am your host, Christopher Albert. Joan Rivers once said, style is like herpes. You either have it or you don't. Based on this lovely necklace I am wearing, made by the lovely Renita Biddle, I definitely have style. And based on what my doctor has told me lately, I might have herpes somewhere. In our little game today, we explore some fashion choices made both on and off stage by musicians who, like us, have a hard time looking back at some of their poor wardrobe selections. And all my contestant has to do today is guess who that poorly dressed performer is in a little game I call Emo Jesus. What the hell were you thinking, girl? Now joining us again is my very special guest, fashion designer Renita Biddle. Hello, Renita.
Hello, Christopher.
Are you ready to play this game?
I think so.
So I'm just gonna provide you a clue,
Okay.
and then we're gonna figure out, which celebrity wore what.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
So here's the first question. This Icelandic singer, songwriter, in my opinion, looks great in this feathered frock, but not many people enjoyed it at the 73rd Academy Awards. Who is she?
She's Bjork.
It's Bjork. Look at that, in a swan dress.
I win.
Now, I think she looks lovely.
I do too. I mean, I love it. It's definitely a fashion statement.
It is a fashion statement, isn't it?
I think that I could definitely do a swan dress. Why not?
Yes, I think you could too. Okay, so you ready for your next clue?
I'm ready.
Okay. So this teen pop icon did it again by deciding to wear denim on the red carpet, and she can never take it back.
Britney Spears.
It is Britney Spears. Now, I think for the time, it was like late 90s.
Yeah.
I think she looked good in this.
I do too. I love
I
that.
think her fashion mistake was having Justin Timberlake around her arms. Now, this rapper's purple pasties were so adorable at the 1999 VMAs, even Diana Ross copped the feel. Who is she?
Lil' Kim.
It's Lil' Kim! Lil' Kim was hot at the time. She was so adorable, wasn't she?
I love Lil' Kim during that.
Now, have
time
you ever
period.
worn pasties out of the house?
Yes, but not that revealing. But I have definitely, pasties is definitely a must for fashionistas with certain types of
Yes.
dresses. You have to have them.
Okay, you didn't answer the question, but sure. Now, do any of your fellow churchgoers follow you on Instagram? Because you know if you wore this on Halloween, I'm posting it and tagging you in it.
Oh, I would kill you.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
As a designer, I see it as art. But then you have some people who see it as
The devil!
pornography. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next question, Renita. You ready?
I'm ready.
No bodyguard could keep this queen of vocals safe from this look.
Whitney Houston.
It's Whitney Houston! Or as some of us know her, as Nippy. It's Nippy.
Love Whitney, always had great vocals, but some of her choices during that time
Yes.
period were definitely.
Now it looks like this
Why?
was a state, like this wasn't her going to the supermarket. Although I would say back in 1987, 1988, there were plenty who were going to the supermarket like this.
That's probably true.
And there
yeah.
are plenty of people in 2018 who are going to Walmart like this. And if I did see somebody in 2018 wearing this outfit, I think they look great.
Really, Chris? You would really
Yes, this looks amazing.
You would definitely have to do a double take, right? This is
I would have to
memorable.
do a double take.
This is memorable, yes.
Someone in this outfit does not belong in Walmart.
Absolutely
They
not.
definitely belong on a stage.
Yes,
Yes,
totally.
or penitentiary. Now, the only fantasy this butterfly daydreams about on the red carpet is clothing optional.
Mariah Carey.
It's Mariah Carey. Now, if there's anyone daring,
Oh,
it
wow.
would be she.
Oh, absolutely.
I think she looks great.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, a piece that you want to, turn some heads with, I think,
Yeah.
Set off some alarms.
Now, for all of those of you who are wondering why Mariah Carey sometimes gets so inebriated, it's just so she can have the courage to wear this. So you ready for your next clue,
Yes,
Renita?
yes.
Okay, this one is a little tough because you can't really tell
Right.
by that. There's like no shape. So here's the clue. Who's wearing this shapeless outfit? This meat-wearing paparazzi magnet definitely wasn't born this way.
Lady Gaga.
It's Lady Gaga. Look at that.
Was that like a piece by like Yoji Yamamoto or one of those people? Kind of looks like something he would make.
Yeah.
Kind of blasted, blown out type of thing.
So you think Lady Gaga saw this on a Yachimomomo runway? What's the name again?
Yoji Yamamoto.
Yoji
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto.
Yes.
So you think Lady Gaga would see an outfit like this off of a Yoji Yamamoto fashion runway fashion show
totally.
on Fashion Week for those
Totally.
who are fashion privy to go
Correct.
to this special fashion
Absolutely,
show.
because that's the type of piece only if you are like
Fashion.
a slaying fashionista can you pull that off.
Right.
No one else would touch that.
I wonder where she was going.
Probably to Walmart.
She was probably going to Walmart to say, "We're closing this shit down, bitches. Everyone out." I like that. All right. I like Lady Gaga.
I do too. I love Lady Gaga.
Yeah. She's known just as much for her eccentric style as she is for her voice, flying shoes, and new attitude. But nobody can outdo a do like this woman can do a do.
Patti LaBelle.
It's Miss Patty. Patty has kicked off her shoes at people in joy and
Yes.
in the moment,
Yes,
in singing,
correct.
in really getting down and in the
Soul.
nitty gritty of her soul.
Yes.
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 But I'd imagine Patty has had to throw some shoes at people out of anger. Have you?
Yes, I've thrown a few pairs of fashionable shoes in my life. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I hope you got them back.
Yeah, after they serve their purpose.
Because you
yes,
know
I
you
got
have to
them
do the
back.
walk and be like, sorry, I need this. I need this back.
You know, fashionista shoes are pretty dangerous when they're kicked off. You know?
They are.
Yeah.
They are. So if any of you out there have been a victim of Patti LaBelle's shoe throwing, please call us or email us right here, junkandjam.com. The game is not as difficult as you would imagine.
It's not. I only wish it was for money. Because now I would be like really
Oh.
breaking in the dough, right?
Oh. Oh. So you're calling me cheap now? Is that what it is, Renita? She's calling me cheap.
Oh.
I'm cheap. I'm a cheap
Oh,
host.
wow. I could be winning money for this game.
You could be playing for fun, but no. She wants money to go to a Patti LaBelle concert
Correct. Yes.
and hopefully get a shoe thrown at her so she can sell it on eBay for more money. But you did sell a few of these beautiful,
I did.
lovely necklaces you made
Which
for me
looks so
here.
lovely on
So
you.
great.
Yes.
Congratulations, by the way,
Yes.
on all your
Oh,
success.
thank you so much, Christopher.
Okay, that's enough of that. Are you ready for the
I'm
move
ready,
on?
yes.
Okay, so here is your next clue. Now, I think this is another one that's a little hard to tell by just looking at the picture,
Right.
right? So, but I hope you'll get it from the clue
Okay.
because I am a good clue writer.
That he is.
Don't patronize me. It's my show. I'll kick you out at any time I want.
Oh, please.
She's like, please kick me out. Okay, you ready for your clue?
I am, okay.
I feel real bad for the person who waited for tonight to see this beauty step off the 6 in this stinky poncho.
Wow, this is Jennifer Lopez?
This is Jennifer Lopez.
Wow.
Now, to be fair to Jennifer Lopez, she was married to an angry Puerto Rican at this time who did not let her wear what she wanted.
This is so not like J-Lo. J-Lo is probably one of the
Isn't this
fiercest women that I
terrible?
know. So she's fierce.
Look at the boots. Now you can't see it, but look at those boots. What the hell is that?
It's a pirate boot.
It's a pirate. It's a pirate booty with a big rose
Wow.
and fringes, and then we can't get enough of those fringes.
Wow, this is actually J-Lo.
I'd imagine though those little puff puffs are real fur.
Yeah, I'm definitely sure all of this is definitely high end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very high end, but it still looks stupid. I don't care how much you pay for that garbage. It's garbage. It stinks.
J-Lo is living her best life these days. She looks fierce.
Great.
Yes.
And she's like 65. She looks amazing.
She looks amazing.
You have a favorite fashion designer of your
Oh,
own
absolutely.
other than yourself?
Alexander McQueen.
Alexander
One of
McQueen.
my favorite designers.
Why
of
is
all
that?
time. I mean, simply because when you think about the brilliance and genius of this man's talent, it's just fascinating. I mean, only Alexander McQueen could have brought some of his designs to life on the runway, where he would create a machine that would literally spray paint like a gown that was supposed to be like a blank palette. That's the brilliance that we're talking about that I admire so much in Alexander McQueen.
Okay, so here's the next clue.
Oh, wow.
Now, out of all her famous siblings, she was the only one who managed to get banned from performing at halftime ever again.
Janet Jackson.
It's Janet Jackson.
Oh, wow. You actually have the picture with the boob out.
We've got the boob out. It's covered. She's got a little starfish. We got a little star there covering it up.
Oh, wow.
That wasn't easy to find, by the way, that
I'll
picture.
bet. How did you done some real, like, deep,
There was a lot
down,
of
dirty
pictures.
searching for that picture?
That's right. That's right. I called up Justin Timberlake, who, by the way, should
He's the
also be
culprit.
banned from the NFL. But that's another
Thank
topic
you.
for another day.
I totally agree with you.
Rhythm Nation was definitely important for a lot of people.
Man. Groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking,
Groundbreaking.
right? And the velvet rope.
You know, it's kind of refreshing to know that Janet kind of sags when she lets her boobs out of a bra.
She
too.
kind of sags. Britney Spears made the mistake, and Janet Jackson, you made the mistake too,
Right.
of hanging out with Justin Timberlake. Don't let it happen again. But you know who would have been a better partner for Janet Jackson here?
Who?
Diana Ross.
Oh, yes.
She would have been great.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
all
she
of the
would've-
feels, as they
All
say.
the feels. All the feels. Okay, so we've got one more for you.
Okay.
Now this royal musician could have used a little bit more purple in this frock.
Prince.
It is Prince.
I love
Look
Prince.
at him.
Oh, man.
Now I think the reason why I threw this in here, because when you look at it from a practical standpoint, not everybody could wear this, right?
Oh, yeah. Not every man could pull off like 4-inch heels and do kicks and splits. And
Not every woman, woman could wear 4-inch heels and do splits. Just ask my mother. Not happening for her. So that's it for our game, folks, here on Junk and Jam Live. I hope that was fun for you, Renita.
Oh, that was not only fun, it was fantastic.
Yes, well, it was only fantastic because of you, Renita.
Oh, thank you, Christopher.
You know, I'm being sincere when I say that.
I believe that.
Now you're the one not being sincere.
No, I'm totally sincere. This was so much fun.
Well, it was a lot of fun, so thank you for joining me.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you guys for joining us. More Junk and Jam Live coming up next, so stay tuned. Thank you so much, Renita.
Oh, thank you, Christopher.
Yay! I would like to thank everyone who supported this episode of Junk and Jam Live, from our audience to the lovely ladies who modeled for us, Josephine, Maria, and Roseanne, and of course their designer, Renita Biddle. And I would also like to thank my crew, Nicole and Hollis, and of course my husband Edwin. Now to close, I would like to share with you a quote from the esteemed fashion designer, Donna Karan. Delete the negative and accentuate the positive. So, stay positive, everyone. And negative, okay? Wear a condom.